2 games for them since Brisbane last played 13 days ago. And they make a host of changes. There was a freshen up for a lot of their veterans on Wednesday night. 6 changes in all. Diamanti came off the bench that night. He, of course, won our Alex Tobin Award as well as the best player this season, according to the Fox Sports pundits. And Andrew Durante, the 38-year-old, his 15th final tonight, his 339th A-League game. He is the game's record holder since debuting 14 years ago this week in round 1 of the second season. The Brisbane Roar go with this 11, their last outing nearly 2 weeks ago now against Sydney FC. A 1-1 draw on that night. Matt Redenton makes just his 3rd start for the club. That's because Brad Inman is only fit enough for a spot on the bench. And Scott Neville passed a pre-match fitness test about 2¼ hours ago now. He is their most experienced finals campaigner. That's his 10th final today, and he boasts 3 goals at the business end of the season, including one in a grand final for Western Sydney. Scott McDonald started the season in green and black as a foundation player with Western United, then fell out with Mark Rudan, wasn't playing the position he wanted to be playing, thought he could be delivering more. So he made the switch to Brisbane, courted by Robbie Fowler, and he's got 6 goals in his past 7 games. Besart Berisha has 9 in his past 8, and his 3rd all-time on the National League goal-scoring charts. 2 away from Rod Brown, Rod Rocket Brown, who is the dad of Corey Brown, of course. He'll be looking to keep Besart Berisha quiet tonight if he comes his way on behalf of Dad. The elimination finals continue at the end of this exhausting season. Should be a brilliant game tonight, Robbie Slater. These 2 teams are fantastic to watch.
Absolutely, and different styles. I think Brisbane really like possession. They like to control the ball, and Western United do as well to a certain extent, but they're quite happy, particularly if they get a goal, to sit back a little bit and hit on the counter, particularly with the Connor Payne and Risdon, and then allowing Diamanti to find spaces. But interesting contest, cutthroat football. It's got to be a winner at the end of the 90, so, or 120, of course.
Or a penalty shootout, and these 2 keepers were pumped up pre-game. Philip Curto, the reigning goalkeeper of the year in the previous A-League season, and Jamie Young has collected that gong before as well. Will it come down to spot kicks? Jamie Young turns 35 on Tuesday. Scott McDonald turned 37 on Friday. Received well wishes on social media from former Celtic fans, former Middlesbrough fans as well. He was a star with both of those clubs in the UK. Out comes Curto to claim this ahead of Aldred. Not sure who he's throwing that one to. Burgess isn't that kind of player.
Well, Burgess shaped to go, and then he didn't. I don't think Curto had a second look.
Gillespie, a mainstay throughout the season, alongside his countryman Tom Aldred. Curto was coming, but they were worried about the pace of Dylan Wenzel-Halls, and he earns his team a corner here.
Yeah, he might just hesitate at the moment. Wenzel-Hall's nice and sharp. Inside a corner, the first of the game.
Scored the early goal in their last outing, the opener against Sydney FC. Both of these teams have scored the first goal a lot lately. First goal crucial tonight, of course. Brisbane have scored it in 6 of their past 7 games. Scott McDonald with plenty of those. Western United with 6 in their past 8. In swinging corner at speed. Curto punches clear, and Chris Beef, tonight's referee, has spotted a little bit of push and shove from the attacking side.
Yeah, flat delivery. See the push there. I think it was Scott McDonald pushing the player into Curto.
Mark Rudan, 2 seasons as a head coach in the A-League, 2 finals appearances. First with Wellington and now with the start-up club. Handball from Burgess there. VAR in action tonight. It was a quiet return for VAR last night as Perth advanced at the expense of Wellington. Chris Beath wide for sound with Chris Griffiths-Jones back in the VAR centre. McDonald caught late by Tommy Uscock, and he's felt the full brunt of that, judging by the reaction. And Chris Beath says you can have an early yellow card for that one.
That touch just took it a little bit away and sort of tried to pull out of it. Looked a bit harsh to me. First challenge.
Chris Beath setting the tone. Some people say a referee might make a rod for their own back by dishing out a yellow card so early in a big final. We'll wait and see. Scott McDonald's okay. Maybe bunged it on a little. Just the coming together there between Hingett and his opponent. Diamante yet to get into the game. Gillespie with that left foot finding the feet of Wenzel Halls. Have been able to time their run to the minute, haven't they, with 13 days preparation for this one, Brisbane, and they are looking the sharper early on. We saw that last night with Perth. They were able to get their run into that final right as well. Here's Risdon. Back to Tamaki Imai. There's been some comings and goings at Western United throughout this inaugural season. Not just Scott McDonald. That pass took a little while to get to Wenzel Halls. There was half a chance there for Redenton if he could have worked it forward a bit quicker. Imai and Risdon swapping places. Here's Lustica. He was part of a grand final win with Brisbane in 2014. McDonald, Redenton alongside, going for goal and earning a corner.
You had the runner outside and he gets a corner. Taking something special to beat Curto from there, but ignores the run of Redenton. Opens up nicely for him. Drives into that space. Takes it on, and Durante with the block. So Brisbane certainly started the better. They're really camped in Wellington's half. Western United's half, sorry.
Careful grabbing the shirt. Imai. Holding on to Wenzel Halls there. Driven in low for McDonald, who fluffed his lines. That was oh so easy. That corner routine. Couldn't get the shot on target, and he'll be disappointed in that. Here's Jay O'Shea. Floating one over the top. McDonald steals in behind and dwelt a little and has to settle for another corner.
Well, great little run in behind and well found as well, and Calver with an important challenge. He gets his head up, McDonald goes, and that touch just made him sort of came back towards his body and had to take another touch, and then Calver was able to recover.
"16 years ago this week, Scott McDonald scored his first Scottish Premier League goals with Motherwell on his 21st birthday. Out-swinging corner, and the header was there for Macaulay Gillespie, who scored 1 goal in his first season down under.
Ball into the near post, and he gets there. Attacks it. Just gets too much on it. Needed to glance that towards the back post, but it's a good start from Brisbane.
arrived from the League Two side in England, Carlisle United. He's been firing all the early shots. Brown, risky ball, found Berisha. Gillespie had to be strong. Jamie Young to clear his lines. Asking for a free kick that wasn't there. Jay O'Shea. Culver. Back to Durante. Both of those men have won grand finals in the past. Durante and Joe Marsden medalist with the Jets in 08. Culver won it all with Sydney FC 15 months ago. Curto outside of his area. Mark Bosnich, what are you making of the opening 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, right off the bat, both sides were vying for position, if you like, you know, trying to force each other back by playing some long balls in behind. It seems that Brisbane, straight after that first 5 minutes of those salvos, got in the field position they like and started to get their passing game going. In terms of Western United, a few little cobwebs. Yeah, it actually looks as though that Brisbane have been playing more regularly than Western United, so it will concern Mark Rudin a little bit, the start that they've had. Another thing as well, and we saw this yesterday as well, set plays are so important in these big games. Every set play that these players take, they should be thinking, this is going to be my last. They need some good quality for those set plays.
O'Shea teed it up for McDonald, didn't he? With that corner a moment ago. McDonald couldn't get any connection on it. Diamante out to Risdon. Numbers forward here. Just bending to the advantage of Hingett, intended for Connor Payne.
Yeah, Scott McDonald frustrated there, had a chance of a transition. The ball to McDonald was wayward.
6 wins in 8 games heading into the finals for Western United. 23 goals to 12. The aggregate scoreline in those 8 games as well. They've been free scoring. That's nearly as many goals as Brisbane scored in the entire campaign. But their defence has been so good. The Raw. That foundation laid by Robbie Fowler and Tony Grant. Warren Moon took over. Takes charge of his 5th game today. You still get to take the throw for him. You don't have to throw it away, but make sure you take it from the right spot is what the referee is saying. Give it up on that for a moment. Jack Hingett had his 200th game in the final encounter of the regular season. Burgess quickly to Diamante, the 2 lefties. And look at that ball with the right boot from the Italian superstar. Riston trying to squeeze it back in. Diamante took it in his stride, but O'Shea knew he had backup from Gillespie. McDonald playing for another free kick. Durante didn't appreciate it. A little bit going on there between Scott McDonald and the defenders.
Well, that was a straight ball into him. He's done well to get the free kick.
Out off Matt Redenton. Made the switch mid-season from the Newcastle Jets, a New Zealand international who also played with Wellington. Doing some work outside of his box. Cut couple of times now. Here's Ulskog. We've seen him a lot in central defence, but it's his third start in midfield in the last month. A position that Mark Rudan had to learn to trust him in. Aldred under pressure. Ulskog winning it back on that early caution, of course. Now Lustica might open up for him. And sliding it through for Berisha was a nice idea. Steve Lustica looking sharp.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on it. A little burst from midfield from Lustica. It was so tight in there and it fell to him. And off he took off. Just saw that gap there. Difficult one to play, really.
He's got a 3-1 record in finals, including that grand final success in 2014 with tonight's opponent. Wenzel Halls. And Danny Kim. What a rise to prominence for this young man. Pass a little behind Corey Brown. Fed back to O'Shea. That rotation from Brisbane, covering the turf beautifully, and O'Shea. Another inventive ball for Redenton to hook across the face. A slip in the middle from Calvert. Readjusted well in the end. Brisbane squeeze in. O'Shea, isn't he starring tonight? And a chance for Corey Brown across the face behind teammates in the middle. Knocking on the door big time here, Brisbane. Trying to cap a superb opening 15 minutes. And there was a stage of this season when they couldn't even score a first half goal. Danny Kim, the young man on loan from Lions FC in the Queensland NPL, does not look out of place since being elevated to this squad by Warren Moon. Berisha just caught by Aldred. The dialogue between Berisha and Beath. Lustica again. Now Burgess keeping an eye on Berisha, tried to bounce it off him, and Berisha lays down the law. Calm down a little. Says the Kosovo international. Max Burgess with a taste of finals a year ago with Wellington. Foundation player with the Raw, Warren Moon. And they were the Queensland Raw. Again, brilliant from Diamanti. Did it strike the arm of Berisha? No need to check on that anymore. As Brisbane get the goal kick.
Yeah, good outcome. Frustrating from Burgess. Closes down well, but instead of going out for the throw-in, which he wanted, goes out for a goal kick to relieve the pressure. Yeah, I thought Berisha he used his arm a bit. It's a terrific ball in from Diamanti, but they're getting players around the support needed, Western United at the moment.
Breaks the way of Diamanti already. A couple of superb balls forward to teammates. This time able to check out to Payne and then Calvert. Brisbane will be keen not to let Diamanti face forward. The time Calvert let him down. Had the most games to play when they entered Hub Life. Western United had to go through that quarantine period as well, so they all stacked up. Played on Wednesday night. 3 days before that against Sydney FC as well, when they came from behind to secure that final spot. Pitch appears to be playing beautifully. A few marks on it, the wear and tear. Wouldn't know it the way the players are stroking it around. And Wenzel Hall's finding an angle to Aldred. McDonald holding it up. Jay O'Shea, the Irishman, named in the A-League's team of the season, according to the Opta stats during the week. Breaks the way of Berisha. He wants a return ball. Diamanti trying to provide it. The goalkeeper's coming outside of his area, and Berisha gave up the chase. Told Diamanti what kind of ball and what kind of service he wants next time.
Yeah, the ball over the top for Berisha's not that good these days. It's tremendous in the penalty area and link-up play, but ball in behind, he hasn't got the speed he used to have. And Brisbane playing some good stuff and rotating in the middle of the park.
Winning the territory battle, as he just saw. United have won their fair share of games when giving up the lion's share of possession and territory. They don't mind it necessarily when the game unfolds like this, and this is a bonus for them. Berisha earning that free kick. Handful of shirt from Tom Aldred. Saw Uscock score a set-piece goal at this end recently. He's the deepest runner here alongside Durante. Diamanti capable of picking anyone out. He's going for goal! And in Alessandro Diamanti, the player of the year, has stunned Jamie Young and produced something special on the big stage. Of course he has. What a player.
Absolutely superb free kick. You're wondering, I don't know why we were wondering whether he was going to take the strike on, because it was in that kind of distance, although it's probably more suited to a right-footed player that side of the box, but such is the quality. That's what the free kick's for. You can see why it's given. But this is superb. Out of the top draw from Diamanti. Jamie Young tries to get there. Absolutely superb. Around the wall. As you get a hand onto it, onto the post and in. Super strike.
33 goals in 200 Serie A games. 7 goals in the Premier League with West Ham, and the reputation of being a set-piece specialist and playing with a smile on his face as well. Well, Brisbane were providing most of the early pressure here, but they gave up the set-piece, and you cannot afford to do that when Diamanti is in the opposition side. Now Uscock finds the man of the moment. Jamie Young has collected more Alex Tobin votes this season than any other goalkeeper, and been in superb form lately. It's going to take something special to stop him, but Mark Bosnich, what'd you make of the goalkeeper on that one?
Well, it was an absolutely fantastic strike, it has to be said. Now, I was just debating down here with Adam, and first and foremost, did the wall jump? And so far as the boys in the truck, I watched a replay again, they reckoned that the wall didn't. Now, the thing is, from that position and being so far out, as a goalkeeper, the more people you put in the wall, the more you have to creep to that opposite side, and the more ground you have to cover. It'll be a disappointment to him because he got a hand to it, but that is a phenomenal free kick, and you saw him gesticulating to Mark Rudin, and Mark Rudin saying back to him, "I told you so." So they've obviously watched Jamie Young very, very carefully and realised that when he does put walls in, he does tend to creep a little bit more to the other side. Like I said, it puts you at a great disadvantage.
And of course, Brisbane's defenders, they're worried about the threat of an Uzcock and a Aaron Calvert. So they had the small men in the wall that actually went over Scott McDonald, who's 5'5" or so. And he wasn't jumping. But what about the way that you saw on that replay, put topspin on the ball, almost like a Roger Federer backhand, if you like. Superb technique. Here he is again. What a momentum shift. Spraying one out a little too heavy. The adrenaline pumping as he missed Connor Payne. His wife and 3 kids watching on back in Victoria. Would still be bouncing around the house, you'd reckon. We'll see that on social media later, perhaps, as Berisha tries to tee him up. Diamante, little no-look pass for Burgess, who was borderline offside. Back to Diamante. Slides past one and tries the toe poke this time.
Well, you just think that ball that Diamante plays into Burgess, if he lets it roll past him, he's on for a strike with his right foot, and he checks back. So, look at that clever little pass, and he comes back on his left foot. Come back to Diamante in the end. Takes that full pace and then has the toe poke. It's got no time for backlift.
Brisbane Roar came to this part of the world to take on another team in their first final way back in 2013. The Wanderers had qualified as premiers, and they were beaten 2-0 on that night. Western Sydney went into the grand final, and Shinji Ono produced something quite remarkable to beat Michael Theo that night. Now it's Diamante beating Jamie Young. Lovely back heel from Jay O'Shea. He hasn't put a foot wrong. Redenton wanted it played in behind. Back to O'Shea instead. Kim nodding it down for Wenzel Halls. Poked away by Imai. It's given the entire Western United team a lift, hasn't it?
It's certainly changed the momentum, because Brisbane were quite comfortable. They were controlling the ball and looking the more likely, but that's what happens when you have a player of that quality. You give another cheap set piece. Aldred wasn't too happy with it. Although when you look at the replay, he was on all over Berisha.
Just floats around, finding space, Diamante. Uzcock. Durante. Calvert to Burgess. Also in superb goal-scoring form in recent times. Didn't score in his first 44 A-League games. And he scored the hat-trick against the Mariners and hasn't looked back. He's offside here, though. Just the 29th goal conceded by Brisbane this season. Haven't conceded multiple goals in a game for 14 games. Wenzel Hall's the target, easily cut out by Calvert. Durante. Lustica. Burgess back to Uzcock. Plenty of movement.
Oh, it's great movement, because it freed up Uzcock, and now they can get it to Diamante in space.
Trying to bend it into Connor Payne in an aerial duel against Hingett. Well defended by the veteran. Brisbane getting their defensive shape sorted again. Now Risdon climbs for the header. He scored last week. Burgess keeping it alive and fired it straight into...
Well, he takes an extra touch and he didn't need to. It was there to hit. As soon as he controlled it, it was there to hit. Once he took an extra touch, it was easier for Brisbane to block it.
Now MI around Wenzel Halls and using the wide man. So many assists this season for Risdon. Finds Diamanti again. Diamanti! Oh, hits the stanchion. And Jamie Young was a spectator this time.
Well, it's brilliant play from MI. Eliminates Wenzel Halls. And they find Diamanti on the edge of the box and just shift that ball. You know what he's going to do. He was rooted to the spot, Jamie Young. And so relieved to see that flash past the far post.
Very nearly Diamanti at the double. Jamie Young telling his defensive unit to keep an eye on that guy. Here's Wenzel Halls. Corey Brown on the run. Across the face, and Western United had players available to tidy up.
Black numbers in the box. Good run from Corey Brown. Sort of shanked it across, but it was dangerous because Curto couldn't come for it.
The winner of this game faces Melbourne City in less than 72 hours' time in that Wednesday evening doubleheader. That's the early game, 5 p.m. kickoff on that night. Sydney FC against Perth in the late game. 8:10 p.m. kickoff local time here in Sydney. Western United in pole position right now to take on another informed team in Melbourne City. Jay O'Shea to deliver. Away by Imo. Jay O'Shea passes have led to more shots than any other player's delivery this season. That time he couldn't pick out a teammate. Donald reacting well. O'Shea had it taken away by Burgess, and Uzcock has steadied well in midfield. The best Risdon could do. As Wenzel Halls and Brown were converging on it. Going on there for the referee to sort out. Late challenge on Burgess. Jack Hingett just slowing things down. Warren Moon just checking up his close-up on the big screen that is operational here despite the lack of crowd. There will be crowds on Wednesday night, so do your best to get a ticket for those two games. You are in the Sydney area. Breaks back to Gillespie, who's caught by Risdon and appeared. The referee had a good long think about it. Got tipped up by fourth official Ali Reza Fagani that it was indeed a foul. And if it is a foul, it's probably an argument for a booking.
Western United players are saying he dived, but he did. I don't think there was any contact there. You seen the same picture as me?
Doesn't need to be contact, as Mark Bosnich often points out.
Yeah, but
You have to take evasive action.
I don't think he was taking evasive action. I think he saw the Western United play coming across and thought going to ground was the best solution. And I would say to him, well played.
Now Diamante caught by Kim.
Was Cox the first to complain to Chris B, saying, well, I did something similar and I got a yellow card.
I'd imagine his goal is already being replayed on social media channels, and the Italian commentary got a bit of a run from his last effort, the chips that he scored against Western Sydney. Mamma mia and all that from the Italian commentators.
I think the same's on the menu for that one.
This beef with an early warning here about time wasting for Curto. Oh, who then slips. We heard from the guys at pitch level about the reaction from the Western United bench, how they picked out a weakness in Jamie Young and the Brisbane Roar setup from set pieces like that. They'd actually done their analysis on the Wanderers' young keeper Tristan Prendergast before that game against Western Sydney, and let Diamante know that he gets off his line a little bit. He chipped him twice in that game, so they do a lot of analysis to try and get the edge. It's certainly working out for them. Rudan, who turns 45 this week, all on the same day as Ange Postecoglou. Something about August 27 birthdays and great coaches. Also a handy cricketer ball on that day, Sir Donald Bradman. Here's Wenzel Halls across the face for McDonald. Payne backs off. Scott McDonald tries to pick out the bottom corner.
Yeah, just screwed it. I mean, he's got Hingert to his right, but he's got to take this on. You've seen him score from these kind of positions. But what you can see, they just get the outnumber there, and then they're 2-on-1 over on that side, and he just screws it wide. Curto relieved. Good play from Wenzel Halls. One touch sets it up. Maybe just snapped at it.
That was a chance. Hingert was trying to play it directly into the path of Redenton. Western United leading the shot count. Also, the only 2 shots on target have come from them. In the 2 meetings this season, the away team won. Western United won 2-0 at Suncorp, and Brisbane won 1-0 in Ballarat. Now they meet on neutral territory here in Sydney. There were no shots on target for Western United last time they faced Brisbane in Ballarat. So Diamante produced one that was really special here to separate the teams right now. They're just in a real scrap. Playoff Durante, who penned an amazing article this week talking about the day playing in Sydney as a 17-year-old when he was substituted. And the next minute he was shot by a stray bullet. Some bloke was taking pot shots from a nearby high-rise. They never found the guilty party, and Durante had to go to hospital and get a .22 bullet removed. So check that out. An article for maybe in the halftime show. Quite amazing the career he's carved out. You think back to season 1 of the A-League. He had his leg broken in pre-season, missed the entire campaign. Been such a warrior since round 1, season 2. O'Shea, a chance to look forward here. The strikers are on the move. Wenzel Halls just brought it back into the path of Imai and was able to take it off his boot. Aldred on Berisha again. The card is out this time. Check the replay, he says. I didn't commit a foul at all.
Well, they're both coming at full steam towards this ball. Well, he's definitely sliding in. He gets the ball. There's no doubt about that.
I heard someone crying out, "Oh my God," when they watched the replay there. Mark Bosnich, what do you make of that decision?
Yeah, right decision. Come through behind him, regardless of the fact that he's got the ball. You can't take 3/4 of the player as well. Just on the game after the goal, we've seen a complete change in momentum. Not too much unlike yesterday's game, where Wellington were playing so well in general play, but not really troubling where it mattered in terms of the goals. Brisbane have just got to keep confident and be, have faith in the play that they do play, and they did play before the goals. Just really set them on the back foot.
Wenzel Halls, brilliant play, wonderful balance from the youngster. A heavy touch there by Neville, who went in really strongly on his man, and the referee thought about that decision. Connor Payne, he's left in a heap, and that was one of those challenges of excessive force, perhaps, from Scott Neville.
He had a good look at it, Chris Beath, and I did shudder when they both went in together. It's what you call a real 50-50, and he's lunged in. That's a yellow card. You can't lunge into it like this.
Oof. Studs are that's raised a little as well.
It's not a great challenge.
Perhaps waiting for some advice from Chris Griffiths-Jones at the VAR centre about whether it's a red card sanction, of course, but it won't be that.
Oh, it's reckless, and look, he's going for the ball. There's no doubt about that, but gee, it's dangerous.
No booking at all. Scott Neville, lucky boy, you might think. Here's Diamante, a bit too far out to go direct. Jamie Young tempting him a little off his line. In towards Imai. Kept alive by Uzcock. Bicycle kick attempted. Western United player down, clutching his head. And that's Durante. Fired back in and spilt by Jamie Young. Can Berisha capitalise? Wide in the end from Bessart. And the offside flag up, I think.
Well, he wasn't to know that. He gets there, the strike from Diamante. I think it surprises Jamie Young. This is the first action where it just wouldn't fall. Durante goes over here and looking for something. There's nothing there, and they end up clearing it. Breaks there, snapshot, and it just bounces in front of him. Berisha gets there, swivels, and then mishits it.
Yeah, offside by metres, as that replay confirmed. Defender on the deck. Right in front of Mark Bosnich and Adam Peacock. Adam, you got a little update for us?
Yeah, oddly enough, Jamie Young was going off his brain. Well, not oddly enough, because goalkeepers, try to make their point. Was going off about that decision before. Does that one fall, Speedy?
Redenton to Hingett. Fired into Connor Payne. Take up the story, Adam.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Warren Moon was actually the one calming Jamie Young down. He was volcanic at the back there over that decision from Chris Beath. So everything coming to the boil. There was players yelling at each other, swearing at each other, calling each other names. Half-time's going to come at a good time for the officials, put it that way.
And Chris Beath would have copped a lot more if there was a crowd in after that fall. And a few of the players giving him a ribbing as he lost his footing while adjudicating on that latest foul. O'Shea again. Wooscock, handy weapon to have in those situations. Wenzel Hall's charged down by Berisha and poked away by Diamanti. Waiting for the runners to arrive. Knocked over by O'Shea, and that was all okay. Important little period before half-time here. Both teams losing their shape, and Diamanti looking to play in Burgess. Berisha arriving in the box, looks a little fatigued here. Diamanti, that one bobbled to him. You wouldn't know it the way that he controlled it. And now in behind, and Young will claim.
Oh, frantic bit of play. It was end-to-end, first with the set piece, and then Diamanti breaking away. I thought he was nudged in the back. Crispy played on. And had another chance at it. The super pass from Diamanti, but Burgess was isolated. There was no one in the box.
Diamanti bouncing it back to Lustica. Berisha right through the middle. Beautiful touch to open it up for Burgess. What can Max deliver? Young had his angle sorted.
No, he still shifted it enough to get the strike on. It was the right idea. Berisha wasn't happy, but I thought he had to take it. And as you said, good goalkeeping, got his position perfect.
Durante back in time.
It's just opened up a little bit here, hasn't it?
Same
Last couple of
half-time's
minutes.
coming. Yeah, you'd think it's the last 5 minutes of the game. What's been unfolding here? Now some composure as Western United stroke it around. Another slip from Curto while clearing his lines. A couple of minutes being added on here. Both these teams very difficult to beat in recent times. Western United look like taking a lead to the break, but it can all turn in an instant. And they might be away here. Wenzel Halls. Nimai coming from behind, clipped him, and that will lead to a booking approaching the break.
Yeah, it's a silly one from him, mate, because he didn't need to, because I think Durante had him covered. That's good play from Wenzel Halls. Once he gets in front, cut across the player, and any touch, it's always going to end up a foul and a yellow card. So maybe one last chance on a set piece.
Brisbane's calendar year started here, New Year's Day against the Wanderers with a victory. 9 wins, 4 draws and 3 defeats in 2020. All 3 losses by a 1-0 margin. They're on the wrong end of a 1-0 scoreline right now. Brown delivers this time, the lefty. Awkward for Western United and almost in for Redenton. It was a great challenge from McDonald to set up the opportunity.
Yeah, it ends up a good chance, and he has to take it quick because he's a little bit surprised it comes to him. And you see that just drops, and he's hardly got any time to get backlift on it, and slices it off the outside of his boot.
Well, what an exciting final, as we've grown used to in the history of the A-League. And Alessandro Diamanti lit this place up with a superb goal from a free kick midway through the first half. At the break, it's Western United 1, Brisbane 0. Andrew Durante good enough to join us. There was ebb and flow about that half, Jura, but you're on top. What do you make of it?
Yeah, look, I thought they started quite well, actually. They were on top of us, probably created the better half chances. But then we got into the game, we started playing our normal game and getting Diamante on the ball, and his free kick was the difference so far.
Yeah, you were in the penalty box. Were you waiting for a delivery, or do you expect him to take the strike on?
Nah, from there, I expect him to shoot from there.
He's got some talent. Thanks for your time.
No worries, thank you.
Great for Andrew Durante to get his breath back and speak to us right then and there. Hope you're enjoying the coverage tonight. An absorbing final. Plenty of action to come, no doubt, in the second half. There's some players on a booking right now. Bozza and Adam to wrap it all up after this.
Start.
Right, didn't have that shot. Back as expected, a lot of challenges, a lot of talk, a lot of things to Chris Beath to decipher. In the end, though, it's that man who was fouled there, Alessandro Diamante, that has proved the difference thus far. 45 minutes in here at Bankwest Stadium in this second elimination final. Western United playing in their first ever final as a club have the lead. And Mark Bosnich, that is good news because they have led in 10 games so far this season at half-time and won all 10. We'll have a look at the goal first up. So a reiteration about your point about Jamie Young and his positioning, but just on Diamante as well. Did it help him with the fact that it was outside the post to start with, given the whip that he can get on the ball?
Well, it helped him or not, and forget about the position of the wall or not, or Jamie Young or not. This is a fantastic free kick, simple as that. Now, there'll be a lot of people out there saying, okay, well, you know, no, you should not have Scott McDonald on the outside, one of your smallest players on the outside of the wall, and that is true. And the outside of the wall should always jump. And I did make the point as well that basically the more people you put in the wall from a distance, the more you have to go to the other side. And that little basically, what, 10 centimetres has made a massive difference in terms of Jamie Young. Now, also there's a school of thought that, with goalkeepers, they, a lot of times coaches will tell you, you make sure you stop your side. If it goes up and over the wall, there's not much you can do. But I'm sure Jamie Young will still be disappointed because of the distance away it was. From my personal experience, and a lot of people used to go, oh, including some of my managers, when it's that far out, I think the least people you have in the wall, the better it is for you, because you can get in a much more central position. Let's put it this way, Adam. If he had 10 shots at Jamie Young at training, with no one there, just him and Jamie Young, I think he'd be lucky to score 2, if 1.
Fair enough. That's comments from the absolute expert in facing some of the best free kick takers in the world in Mark Bosnich. Just on Diamante as a whole, is he getting on the ball enough? Too much? From maybe a Brisbane Roar perspective first up? Are they allowing him too much space?
Oh, well, after the goal he really come into his own, but so did the whole of Western United, because before that they were completely on the back foot. Brisbane had started the better of the sides, they got their passing game going, they were completely on top, but it was kind of like a boxer who was dominant and all of a sudden got put on his backside when they conceded the goal, and it took him a while to recover. And during that period, Diamante's really come into his own. Some of his passing has been exquisite. He's 2 or 3 moves ahead, and they've just got to be careful here, Brisbane, because as well as they've played, there's still been several occasions when it looked as though that they were going to concede a second.
How Brisbane have gone about things. What were the things that they were working, that were working, that they need to build on ahead of this second 45?
Well, exactly what they've been doing throughout the whole season. What Brisbane like to do, if you have a look at it very, very closely, they like to involve Corey Brown on one side, Jack Hingan on the other, and whether it be O'Shea or Kim on one of the side of the midfields and one of the strikers on the sides, and they like to start to pass the ball around, and they draw players from the opposition to that side, and then there's a quick switch of play straight to the other side, and they basically look to finish with an end product. So they just got to keep doing that. They really did lose their way after they conceded the goal, and Warren Moon's just got to go in and say, look, listen, okay, we conceded a goal, it was a genius free kick, but let's just keep playing exactly the same way they're playing. I still think that Brad Inman needs to come on, because he provides them something in terms of the finished product. And as well, I'd be seriously thinking about maybe Amadi Holloway, because a lot of the times with Brisbane now with Scotty McDonald, that's no problem as well. He comes forward, okay, but there's very little going in behind from the central. Sometimes Wenzel Halls does, but when you got someone like Holloway, he can do both. He can go forward and he can go back, and he gives them an aerial threat as well.
Pose going there as well, just to reiterate what he was making a point about. Scott Neville, is he lucky to be playing in this match any further part?
Well, I thought it was definitely a yellow card. Whether it's progressed, to the red, I mean, excessive force and taking players' safety into consideration, I mean, that's a fine line. If you
Maybe
look at it from this angle as well,
the bent top knee, because it's there's no hit down straight.
Put it this way, so far as I'm concerned, it's definitely a yellow card.
Yeah.
I would not be having too many complaints if it was called red as well. But I can understand, like I said, just a yellow card. But he wasn't booked, was he?
No, he wasn't. That was extraordinary.
That was surprising. Yeah.
Just a quick one on Scott McDonald. So I heard Mark Rudan yelling at his players to block the central area, block the central supply into Scott McDonald, like that ball. He doesn't want that. But how would you say Andrew Durante is coping, even if it does go in there so far?
He's doing a great job. The only thing I thought with Western United at the beginning of the game was that a little bit too deep. Because as good a player as Scott McDonald is and as good a player as Wenzel Halls is, they haven't got an electric speed. They're not a Key and Azy, for example. So I thought they were a little bit too deep, which was put him on the back foot. But like I said, both sides were vying at the start with some long passing for that field position. And it was Brisbane who sort of won that little battle. They got their field position and started playing their football. Like I said, that's what I'm thinking about with Marty Holloway. When he comes on, it's a different story, because if you're deep, they've got the option of going in the air as well. Then you've got second balls and things like that. At this moment in time, Durante and the other two, Inai and Calvo on the other side, doing a very good job. They're doing a very good job overall defensively. It's just that they looked like they had a few cobwebs at the start, but since they scored the goal, they've come into their own, Western United.
A stack to look forward to in this second half, because it was getting a little hot under the collar. Tempestuous, one might say.
It's a marvellous word.
Thank you. You can try it anytime you like. We're off to a break, because this second 45, what has this magician got for us in this second 45? Perhaps a bit longer if Brisbane Roar come back and force extra time. Back in a moment to find out what happens in this elimination final.
Thanks, man. Where is it?
Hello, hello. Uno, dos,
it's
tres,
working.
cuatro, cinco. Interview
Hello,
microphone.
Warren Moon.
Yes, and I can hear the fuzzy fuzzy.
Warren Moon.
What
Are you
about
there?
Warren Moon?
Hello, Coach. Can you hear me?
I can hear whoever's talking to me.
Thank you.
2 minutes on the break, Speedy. Thank you.
That goes to air, doesn't it? Diamante, the star of the show again. His goal separates the two teams at the break. A wonderful free kick from the Italian superstar for Western United in the first final in club history. So Brisbane have to come from behind in the second half. Their coach, Warren Moon, good enough to join us. Doesn't look like any changes yet. Warren, are you planning any early ones?
Look, not just now, no panic. I thought we were quite good, to be honest, first half. We controlled most of it, but obviously quality player, quality finish, and we'll have a look at it. But right now we just got to improve in a few areas and hopefully get more control of the ball.
How many minutes could Brad Inman play?
Yeah, that's the question, and we'll look at it. Not too long, I would say. Not too long till we have a look at him to come on.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Good luck. Brisbane ready to get the second half underway. Dylan Wenzel-Halls, who had a few nearly moments, along with Scott McDonald up top for Brisbane. Here's the kickoff routine they've been working on over the past 2 weeks or so. Scott Neville crashing in again. Half-time analysis, pretty much like we summed it up at the time. Scott Neville very lucky not to be on at least a yellow card. That's why he can afford to crash into challenges still after what he did to Connor Payne. Warren Moon was cagey on what subs he'd use. Mark Bosnich said Inman should come on now. What do you think, Robert?
Well, I think he gave it away, that it's not going to be too long, and obviously just going to see how this second half starts. And of course, they did have a pretty good chance right at the end of that first half from the set piece where it came back to Redenton and flashed his left boot at it. But Brisbane have had their moments in the game. It's been a good, pretty even game.
Numbers in the box here. Almost like a corner, the long throw routine from Neville. Barisha came back, showing his desperation defensively. Helped in by O'Shea, and Curto elects to punch. And a teammate. Here is Redenton, New Zealand international. O'Shea and Hingett set the tone with that kickoff routine. Western United unable to establish any possession since the resumption here. Payne hooks it away. Scott was stretching, gave it up to O'Shea. McDonald through the legs of the defender. Durante couldn't link up with a teammate.
It's all caught on this left-hand side of the pitch, so tight.
Lovely play from Payne to pick out Berisha. Dragged it back. Teammate he was thinking about passing to was offside, so that's brilliant play. And now Risdon received from Diamante. And should be Young's ball.
They're probably just a little bit too far. Too much weight on that pass from Diamante, and Houston couldn't affect a decent cross.
It was end-to-end at the end of that first half. And there's signs they might be able to continue that into the second 45 here. That for artistic camera work from the best camera operators in the world. Part of our coverage tonight. And now O'Shea, and Curto happy that it was pretty central.
He got a hold of it well on the half volley, controlled it. Curto's safe hands. It's a decent strike.
Set up so many of his teammates this season. Jay O'Shea only scored the one goal himself. Diamante again just able to find space. First shot on target for Brisbane, that was. Aldred keeping Berisha at bay. Brilliant touch from Diamante, then he slipped. Imai on the follow-up. Back to Diamante, Burgess demanding it. And he was looking for a more aggressive pass, Diamante. Perhaps the easy one was the option. You don't criticise him too often. Great surge of speed from McDonald. Got away from Diamante. Midfield a little slow to push on. Kim presenting. It's all pretty tight and congested now. And out off Redenton. He's playing in that Brad Inman role. Inman troubled by a groin niggle. That's why he wasn't considered for a start tonight. Diamante finds Burgess this time. Where is it, says Max. Payne delivered another lovely pass. Mark Rudan, speaking to you guys pre-game, said that both these teams play similar styles, and sometimes that can mean they cancel each other out. It hasn't been the case tonight, though, has it?
No, it's, when you look at it, it's practically man on man all over the park, and when one gets away from their man, then it's when it opens up, and that's happening fairly often.
That was the point he made. Just win your individual battles. That's what he talks about in his team talks. Aldred has to be careful. That time he stood his ground. Taken back by Uscock. Diamante, little glance over the shoulder to check where Risdon was. Young backed off. And a tap in for Burgess nearly. Jamie Young able to react in time. I think Risdon thought he'd done enough. when Young could only parry the initial shot.
What about the pass from Diamante and Risdon in behind and Jamie Young? Superb goalkeeping.
Now we're back down the other end for O'Shea. Good ball into the feet of Redenton. Teammates on the edge of the area. Not sure why he didn't go back to Kim to blast it.
That was the obvious one and the right one.
Or turn and shoot himself. It's a brilliant pass to tee him up. Now Hingett across the face. That's an important block by Calver. Otherwise there was a tap-in coming up for Redenton. Western United's defence under pressure. Diamante dwelt and Corey Brown took it away. Here is Kim. Turned down a moment ago. A shot at his first A-League goal. McDonald thread the pass past Payne. Lustica, fantastic. Risdon's on the move again. And Corey Brown just took Diamante down. Referee happy with the way that free kick was taken. Right.
Markwood, face forward, play forward. Oh, wasn't ready for that Burgess, he should have been.
There's no shade turning it on tonight. Just didn't quite squeeze the pass out beyond Josh Risdon. Burgess went down too easily. And he's asking for treatment, Max Burgess, as Brisbane continue. McDonald turns the defender inside out, and Risdon there to deal with it. Or rather, Lustica.
Brilliant play from Scott McDonald. There's that ball from Diamante. Risdon's in there. One arm. What a super save, and able to readjust and smother the ball before there's a tap in.
He was in pain, Max Burgess, wasn't he? Desperate for the physio to get out there. Let's hope no damage done. This young man in superb form. Difficult player to replace as well. Scott Neville gave him a spray. Burgess be able to run it off. We'll wait and see. They defend this corner with 10 men, Western United. Barisha guarding that near post. Connor Payne's ball out was a risky one, easily cut out. Great desperation from Josh Risdon, and he'll come up with the ball, and there might be a counter-attack on. Barisha, Lustica back into the stride of Barisha. An important stretch by Hingett. There's some desperate acts going on. We're only 10 minutes into the second half.
Burgess isn't looking good. He's still hobbling around. He's come back on.
Melbourne City will be delighted to sit back and watch this game and know the winner takes them on, and the game is being played at an amazing tempo. It's going to take a lot out of whoever progresses to that Wednesday night semi-final. That's what's coming up. Wednesday night doubleheader for the right to be in the grand final on Sunday. Sydney FC against Perth is locked in. The winner of this game against Melbourne City in the early kickoff. And the crowds can come to that doubleheader. So Google A-League and get your tickets. And socially distance. Plenty of space here. Lustica able to flick it out. Diamante. Risdon probing. There's Burgess. How's he moving? Able to open up an angle here. Max Burgess. Capable of thumping that one in the bottom corner. Didn't he spring to life there?
I was just giving a message to his coach that he's fine. Jinks one way, drops the shoulder, pushes it. Can't get it on target. A lot of power behind it.
Bent around the corner. Imai coolly done to Durante. Early ball for Burgess. That time he gets the whistle. Not happy about the treatment, making the point to Chris Beath.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you're a player in form. And Brisbane are aware cool from Imai has been a superb pick-up for Western United. But they realise the danger of Burgess, so that's what he's got to learn to live with if you want to be a top player.
Diamante, outrageous the way that he puts teammates into space with those balls over the top. Time it wouldn't quite sit for Risdon. The substitutes warming up at both ends. Mark Bosnich, you anticipate any changes in around the hour mark?
Well, I do. I did think Max Burgess was going to come off. He was very, very ginger, but like you guys just remarked, he just turned around to Mark Rudin right before he hit that cracking shot that just went wide and said that he's okay. For Brisbane, really it's time for Warren Moon. It's coming up to the hour mark to start thinking about the substitutions that we talked about. Now, we know we spoke just after half-time. He doesn't know how long Brad M is okay for, but he doesn't want to leave it too much longer, because if Western United get another goal, it is over.
Connor Payne picking out Diamante, who tried to shield it away from Corey Brown, who did enough in the end. A little fortunate there, Brisbane. And Diamante didn't get another shot away.
What a chance that was for Diamante. He got in front of his defender and just didn't do enough when he needed to.
Payne, who teed it all up. Berisha turned away from Aldred, tried to hook one around to Lustica and takes up wonderful positions. Now Diamante. Inside, Steve Lustica slipped at a key moment. Couldn't keep the shot down.
Oh, brilliant incursion from Diamante. Sets it up for Lustica, and as you said, it's quite simple. He slipped at the crucial moment. It's the runner from Connor Payne, and look at his position there, Diamante. Gets a good soft touch on that. And his next touch is the shot.
What a brilliant challenge it was by Corey Brown on Diamante. He was second favourite there, Corey Brown, the way it was coming across. Somehow nicked it away. Diamante was stunned. Double change is brewing for the Brisbane Roar. Going to see Brad Inman. Wenzel Hall's peeled off. O'Shea good enough to find him. McDonald dropped off that back five of Western United. Brilliant ball, O'Shea! Should have been able to find the bottom corner. It was a tame finish. What brilliant build-up play by Brisbane.
And Scott McDonald, again, he's having a very good game. And sets it up on a platter for James O'Shea, and that's the only thing missing from his game so far this evening, is a finish right here. should have done better. It's a comfortable save from Curto in the end.
Corey Brown a little over-aggressive that time. So it's time to go to the bench. Danny Kim withdrawn. And what a moment for the 19-year-old Kai Truan. It's only his third A-League appearance. He's going to get half an hour here. And Brad Inman at a venue where he scored on New Year's Day gets half an hour and maybe more if Brisbane can force extra time here. Warren Moon first to go to his bench. 5 subs can be made in the 90 minutes. If we go to extra time, you can add another one on. Brave header with the high boot from Aldred against Berisha. Stumble from Brown, turned it over cheaply, and now Diamante, and Berisha had made the move in behind. Diamante in the back of McDonald, who says how many infringements until he gets a booking. Only got Durante down for 2 fouls conceded. Feels like a few more. Lovely ball around the corner again. Oh, McDonald slid in on Uzcock, and he's the one going into the book. A little out of control and reckless with that challenge.
That touch takes it away, and then he's got to slide in to get it. Gets to the ball, but like Bosney said in the first half, once you're sliding in like that, it's always a free kick. And he gets the booking as well.
He's got to be careful with his remonstration as well now. Can get booked for dissent. And that reaction was a little over the top, but he wears his heart on his sleeve. What a moment that was for Brisbane when McDonald teed up O'Shea. Maybe some frustration left over from that miss. Uzcock helping it on. Burgess will get there. An important stretch by Hingett, but the offside flag is up. Great call by the assistant on the far side. Referee gets a touch here. Pass intended for Wenzel Halls.
It's a pretty good outcome for Western United there, because they're going to be 2-on-1. That pass had made it. Wenzel Halls. It's their ball.
There's no contested drop balls. And Brisbane had possession. Pass was maybe going to find a teammate. Here's Inman. Just got it there to his fellow substitute. O'Shea clipped by Lustica. Spieth trying to manage a potential powder keg in the middle of this pitch. Challengers are flying in. McDonald just onside. Inman lost control. He's looking a little rusty. Tried to get his body right over the last week and a half. Cute ball by Payne again. Burgess clipped it away from Truan. Diamante gives it to Risdon early.
Oh, great flow to the game. It really is end to end. And like you say, once you beat your man, then you get sloppy there that time from Risdon, but then you manage to work a bit of space and get an overload.
Western United unbeaten at this venue, 3 games, 7 points out of 9 claimed. Here's Durante stepping up. He'll keep on going as well. The pass from Berisha was behind him. As a result, Durante's out of the mix here. Can Brisbane capitalise through Brad Inman? Opens up the angle. Oh, back off the post! Tried to squeeze it in at Curto's near post and was that close to equalising. Durante, he's going into the book for that challenge.
This is where Brisbane capitalised so well. They're 3-on-2. Inman drives forward, and he's right. He does well. Just shifts it there, and he's so unlucky. He's got Curto beaten at the near post there, and then Durante sliding in, who clearly won the ball. Chris Bede saying there's a bit of follow-through, and it's a yellow card. There you see it.
He clears the ball, then he sees his opponent coming and leaves the foot in. The studs collect Corey Brown in the opinion of the referee.
Well, I don't think he leaves his foot in. I just think it's his momentum. It's always easy on slow motion. Look, he clearly gets the ball, and that's just where his foot went. He didn't mean to stick it up there. Now, of course, there's contact, and they've made the decision what it is, but I don't think there's much he did wrong.
So Diamante placed the ball on almost the same blade of grass and got the better of Jamie Young in the first half. Can Jay O'Shea, Macaulay Gillespie or Corey Brown do the same? 2 lefties and a righty. And he said in the first half, it's a good side for the right footer. It is Gillespie trying to do the same. Wasn't a bad effort either.
No, had him beaten, I reckon. If he keeps it, if it dips a bit for him, then Curto was beaten. Yeah, power, plenty of bend on it, on target, but over the bar.
Scott won the flick on. McDonald, brilliant hold-up play again.
He's had such a good game.
Oh, he slipped. He bent his run cleverly there, Brad Inman. Allowed Culver to come across in time. "20 minutes plus stoppage time."
Long throw. Aldred is up.
He receives as well, just Tom Aldred. O'Shea with those quick dancing feet. And great assessment by Josh Risdon. No one around him. He could afford to let it roll. And you wonder why no Brisbane players are coming in.
There was no one coming. Everyone had come to the near post, no one at the back post, because it wasn't a bad ball in from O'Shea. What a chance he had. He's had a fine game, but that man there will know he should have done better with that chance. Central. Picked out by Scotty McDonald and didn't get the connection he needed.
Durante v McDonald again. The striker gets the better of the defender, but Connor Payne's having a superb evening too. I thought he was nudged over. Nothing doing on that front. McDonald's flick. Wenzel Halls. Durante backing off. Great trick, but Imai gets back this time. Wenzel Halls keeping it alive. Good scrapping. And double ricochet there off the hand of Imai at the end of it all, I think, for a corner.
He takes a risk and he gets away with it. They do get a corner. Give it up to the Wenzel Halls. Corey Brown coming in, the double ricochet.
Even if it strikes the hand, no penalty, of course. In swinging corner, header. Gillespie and McDonald getting in each other's way, perhaps. The big man was looming large.
Just did enough, didn't he, Risden? Just backing in. Decent ball to the back post.
Barisha, risky pass. Inman has made a difference. They look much more of a threat now with him on the pitch, as Mark Bosnich had forecast. Risden trying to bend it around. Burgess was blocked off the ball by Aldred. His teammates going to bat for him, and Beath has been talked into giving this free kick. It was never going to happen until Lustiger and Diamanti both blew up.
Well, there was contact, but I don't think there's much there for a second yellow anyway. Durante leaves it for Diamanti and goes forward.
Diamanti lifts it in. Aldred, desperate to prevent the corner, does so. McDonald v Risden. Brilliant physicality by both in the end. Risden, a Socceroo, played in the last World Cup in all 3 group games. Such composure, and his pass found the chest of Barisha. There's another one of those 50-50s, and Corey Brown won it again. Inman to Wenzel Halls, and Brown kept on going. Great fitness on display from these players. And what a ball, and Hingett, for a moment there you were thinking, is it going to float in the top corner?
Well, especially if he had more pace on it, but he couldn't. He was stretching for it. Another good situation for Brisbane. See Hingett coming around the back. Let's do it, but there's not enough power on it to worry Curto too much.
Averages a goal every 100 games, Jack Hingett. That would have been some way to score his 3rd A-League goal. About to enter the final 15 minutes of the 90. That domination in terms of balls into the area since the break from Brisbane.
Yeah, Brisbane certainly having the better of the game.
Up and under from Young. Yeah, it's Brown who got the better of Diamanti. He's onside, started from inside his own half here. Durante stepped up. McDonald set sail for the penalty area. And big chance. It breaks the way of Brad Inman trying to place it. And it's a free kick going against Wenzel Halls earlier in the sequence, presumably, so the goal would not have stood if Inman had scored.
Well, it's a sweeping move from Brisbane. And they can't make the most of it yet again. The way Bentley's run, he's in his own half, so he can't be offside as that ball was played. Drives towards that near post. Just flicks it with the outside of his foot. Great block there from Durante.
At what cost? Physically. He's still down, Andrew Durante, after being caught by Wenzel Halls. That's what prompted the decision here. Outstretched leg. Wenzel Hall's coming in at speed. And that's what happened. Caught the standing leg, it appears, of the veteran centre-half. I mentioned that broken leg caused by Nick Merger in a pre-season game between the Mariners and the Jets way back in 2005. Cost him a season. And let's hope he's okay here. Andrew Durante. Such an important cog in that defensive unit for Mark Rudan. Former centre-half in Cook himself, of course. Will he have to go to his bench? Oscar Dillon has started the last 2 games. He's the obvious replacement. Pasquale could come on into midfield. Uscott could go back into defence. He's got some options. Will Durante be okay to complete this game and play on Wednesday, of course, if it stays like this? Let's take a look back at the goal that separates the teams right now, Robbie.
Well, it's certainly worth it. Have a look at this from the maestro. Got a hand to it, Jamie Young, but can only push it onto the post. A superb free kick from Diamante. That's a whip, and look how he puts top spin on that ball as well, and it seems to accelerate through the air.
Eighth goal of the season to go with 8 assists for the Alex Tobin Award winner. Durante on his own feet, under his own steam. Looks like he's going to try and get back out there. Everyone who knows him will hope that's the case. Fantastic fella, Andrew Durante. That stoppage lasted for 2 minutes and 40 seconds alone. So Brisbane fans will be hoping all of that time is added on at the end of this contest. They might need an elongated stoppage time the way this is going, Robbie.
Well, I think Warren Moon would be happy with the momentum they've had. They've had some good chances in the second half. I'm sure he'd feel that they should be on level terms. Said they're not. That's what happens in the 2 boxes that count.
Durante back into the action. Diamante has a look over the shoulder. Didn't see anything he liked, so he took the conservative option. Now he can get on the front foot with Riston. Make your move. Lustica presented. Burgess to Berisha.
Haven't seen Connor Payne this advanced for quite some time.
Trying to get to the byline now. Lovely touch. And Lustica trying to find a teammate. Berisha hooks it over the bar. He normally thrives on opportunities like that.
Oh, what a chance that was. Terrific play from Burgess first and Connor Payne. Good first touch there, and this is a wicked ball across the face of the box. Lustica just helps it back on. That's a difficult chance.
How good from Lustica to pass in that situation.
Sort of cushioned it, didn't it? Western United had their chance then.
So Wenzel Hall's off, Amadi Holloway on. This was another change you wanted, Mark Bosnich.
Yes, it was. And, you know, they're going to have to really bolt the hatches down, so to speak, Western United for this last 10, 15 minutes or so. Like you both said, the Brisbane have had the better of the last 15 or so minutes. Very unlucky Bradley Inman hitting the post, but Western United are holding out. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Mark Rudin also makes a few changes for these last few minutes.
He's delighted he wasn't forced to make a change. Of course, Durante is still organising the defence out there as they prepare for another Scott Neville long throw. A la Rory Delap. Marty Holloway trying to help it on, but strike a hand of Calvert. Half-hearted appeals from Brisbane. Corey Brown. Away by Durante. Now battening down the hatches. Western United. Jay O'Shea. Marty Holloway had an air swing. Corey Brown! And helped clear by Calver, who was desperately looking for the ball, and it was right at his feet.
He's able to get up, and Corey Brown's right idea. It's a strike, but it's one of those, if you do miss it, it flashes across the box and anything might happen.
Oh, Marty Holloway and Aldred not on the same page. Counter-attack is on. Berisha quickly to Burgess. Diamante gives up the chase. Berisha kept on going.
Look how they got numbers back, Brisbane, though.
Gillespie getting back goal side. Terrific work rate.
Berisha's looking for help here.
Yeah, just out of play. Throw in for Brisbane. All the way along the deck to find McDonald, and he was dragged back there. Good refereeing, no advantage accruing. We've seen so much late drama in finals down the years. We've seen so much of it from Brisbane. Think back to Berisha in grand finals, and they do it again here. Four-time championship winner Bessar Berisha, twice with the victory, twice with the roar. Truin, the teenager, his pass picked off that time by Lustica. Diamante over the top for Berisha. Oh, he's through, is he? He's got Burgess talking him through it. Thought that was a high boot against Aldred. Referee let it roll.
And as the ball dropped, it ran away from Berisha. If it dropped a little bit closer to him, he was one-on-one with Young.
They've loved the two-goal cushion. They've had a couple of counter-attacks open up in the last couple of minutes, but Brisbane have been able to regroup. Mark Rudan telling his team to calm down. He's delighted to have Durante still out there. For more on that, down to Adam.
Yeah, Speedy, just since that hefty challenge at the other end, Andrew Durante been keeping a close eye on him. He's the spare man, he's the organiser back there, but he's not moving freely. He's got a massive stud pattern, new tattoo down his right leg, apparently, but no structural damage, which is rather important.
Mark Rudan hesitant on using his subs. This is his first choice 11. Take them off and Brisbane score a late equaliser, then you're missing some stars for extra time. It's playing into his thought process right now. Easily cut out that time by Neville. Calver with an emphatic header. Should be coming back though. Can they get Marty Holloway to bring it down for Scott McDonald? Little and large up top for Brisbane. Brad Inman sniffing around as well. This time he gets it to feet, the Welshman. Not what we associate with a Marty Holloway. Build up like that. True and able to come across. Collect the pass from Burgess, intended for Berisha.
That's a good ball.
Inman can turn. Wide to Brown. Hingett to rise. Who wants that one? They both looked at each other. In the end, Berisha first to react. Gives Burgess one to chase. Absolutely no one in the middle. Now Burgess buys some time. Diamante. Brisbane a willing runner all night and all season. Pointed out off Diamante. They thought, not spotted by either official. Time for another change. Brisbane working their bench again. Scott Neville getting off in a hurry. It's a defender off and an attacking player on. Jai Ingham, the team's hairdresser during the hub period. And Western United ready to bring this guy on. And all his pace, Parias. Burgess, who caught that knock earlier, is the man withdrawn. Getting an ovation from the Western United bench. The terrific performance from Max Burgess. And the shot came in from Diamante, never threatening Jamie Young this time. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Mark Rudan asking for reinforcements in front of him, but Hingett's able to push on, and here comes Parias. Not in time to prevent the cross. Imai cleared. And there's Parias with those fresh legs. Be a bigger threat on the counter with his speed. Brisbane want to keep Western United hemmed in here and force that equaliser.
Yeah, so deep, and they win the ball back, but they give it straight back to Brisbane.
Scott McDonald blocked by Lustica. Of the Brisbane Roar on the edge of their seat, hoping their club can do it again at the death. And Imai knocked over. Free kick, goal kick, take your kick.
Yeah, terrific defender. He sensed that ball was going to be played in behind O'Shea with the late run from the middle of the park, and Imai read it so well. So he went past Diamante, and Diamante couldn't track him.
Fourth official, Ali Rizi Fagani, preparing the board. Ready to let everyone know how much stoppage time will be added here. Warren Moon is interested in that number. Great 50-50 again. Diamante winds up in the Hyundai signage, and he's a little proppy after that.
I think it was Wisdom, wasn't it? Diamante. But he has been everywhere.
Here's the kind of ball that Marty Holloway expects. Brings it down to McDonald again. Calvert saw off that threat. Ingham, the substitute. That's his throw. 5 minutes for Brisbane to force extra time. Western United this close now to a win in their first final. Mark Rudan prepares another change. Stamatolopoulos not too far away.
Berisha looks out of legs. Ball couldn't even chase it from Connor Payne. And they're very deep, and this is the tactic now.
Aldred hangs it up. Scott McDonald sniffing around, but Curto able to claim.
But that's what they're hoping for. Holloway to create a bit of chaos in there and the ball to drop. It didn't drop kindly for them that time. Just floated in.
It is Berisha trying to run as far away from halfway as he can right now. He knows he's the one about to be replaced. Chris Beath says, off you go. Hasn't added to his 10 finals goals today, but he's put in a great shift. He's still tied for the most finals goals with Archie Thompson, who'll be clinging on to that one for as long as he can. Archie. Josh Risdon is down, so this is another walking wounded for Western United. Burgess, Durante, and now Risdon with knocks if they do get through to Wednesday night. Berisha with some advice to the young man, formerly of Adelaide United. More time to add on now. Hold off on any change. Is the advice? No. Time to change. So this is still the same window, if you like, because we haven't had a restart since Berisha was replaced. You get 3 windows to make your 5 maximum subs in the 90 minutes. Seb Pasquale.
He'll put Parias over to the right-hand side. Replace Josh Risdon.
Another experienced campaigner closing in on 200 A-League appearances, Josh Risdon. It's his 9th final. Just wonder whether he'll be right to play his 10th on Wednesday. Less than 72 hours to recover for whoever wins tonight. Some people talk about the advantage, and do you get any if you finish top 2? Well, you get a massive advantage, don't you?
Especially the way this season's, you know, final series over in a week, so it's a massive advantage.
Sydney FC and Melbourne City earned that right. They didn't have to play this weekend. They were able to sit back and wait, see what their prospective opponents could dish up. What a shame for the Socceroo. Let's Mark Rudan know what the issue is.
He didn't look happy.
There is Parias in the Risdon role. They're a bit hesitant on whether to go forward and not really commit. As a result, Diamante's pass didn't find the mark. That's a minimum amount of stoppage time, of course. We might go close to 7. Amadi Holloway under the ball this time. Ingham there. Another Western United player is down. Woolscott able to get it out of there for more treatment. This time for Calver. In some competitions, as we've seen in the AFC Champions League, teams might bung it on and stay down at times like this, but this is cruel on Western United, all these knocks they're copping.
See, I think it's how he fell there, but Brisbane with a chance again.
And Marty Holloway's in there, trying to create that chaos. Parias able to hook clear. The Risdon stoppage tallied at about 90 seconds. Marty Holloway chesting it down this time. No one running onto that, apart from those in green and black. Stamatolopoulos in a foot race. Right in front of the coach and the bench, talking him through it. Jimmy Young will collect that. And there's one last foray for Brisbane. Searching ball for Marty Holloway. Pretty good one too. Woolscott was there for the aerial duel. Can't afford to foul here, but they do. Jay O'Shea upending Stamatolopoulos. Careful, boys. It's all threatening to kick off in the dying stages here. Western United, of course, really have to watch their step, because they're most likely to be in a final on Wednesday.
That's Tommy Aldred. He's just telling Stamatopoulos to get up rather forcefully, of course. Frustration. Stamatopoulos does well. Flicks away, gets his toe in there. It's a clear foul. Comes across and pitches on the top of the thigh. And Tommy Aldred not happy with Stamatopoulos staying down.
Diamante playing peacemaker, getting Aldred out of there. We did see one game go to 100 minutes earlier this season, and in the end there was a goal scored in that 100th minute by Matty Simon to collect the points for the Mariners against the Victory. How much more time is Chris Beath going to add on here? We've needed an experienced referee tonight. Plenty of flashpoints in this one. Diamante backs his way in. And the foul is given. Every time they hear the whistle, Western United fans are jumping off the couch back home in Victoria, thinking that might be the final whistle. Not just yet. Now it is. In their first season, Western United are one win away from a grand final. Quite remarkable what they've done. Alessandro Diamante with the match-changing moment again. A spellbinding free kick, which sends Western United through to a semi-final against Melbourne City on Wednesday night. It's a game that's taken its toll tonight. The walking wounded in green and black. And Mark Rudan and Warren Moon, that's all class to wait and congratulate his opposite number on progressing tonight. You think back to the handshake that wasn't between these two clubs in the first meeting. Robbie Fowler and Mark Rudan made headlines. What about the finals action we have been seeing on the last couple of nights? And there's more to come. The doubleheader on Wednesday to look forward to, and then the grand final in a similar time slot to this one next Sunday evening. All here in Parramatta. Full time tonight. Western United 1, Brisbane 0. The Roars season is over. Robbie Slater, hard to believe there was only one goal in the game.
Well, it's like last night, isn't it? A goal taken and then defended. But it was a game that certainly had a lot of chances for both sides. Notably, Brisbane controlled the second half for large parts of it, but you know, where it matters most, they weren't clinical. Didn't have that cutting edge, a lot of good situations and a couple of very good chances. So it's just that one bit of quality that separates the game.
Let's get down to pitch level with Adam and Bozza.
Thank you, Speedy. Thank you, Robbie. And yeah, so Western United, they win their first game as a club against Wellington Phoenix in the A-League. They make the finals at the first time of asking. Mark Bosnich, they win their first finals match. They're into the last four in their inaugural season.
Yeah, congratulations to them. It was a real gritty effort. I mean, players were dropping like flies towards the end, but they showed tremendous character and tremendous spirit to keep going. Robbie Slater was right for large periods of the whole game. Quite reminiscent to last night, you have to say, with Wellington. Brisbane not only controlled the game, you could probably say played the better football, but where it really mattered, Western United in both boxes for their defending, and also obviously with the free kick, they were better and they deserved to go into the final.
Let's hear from Max Burgess right now. He was, same
well,
one of the finals.
Yes.
They're still in the finals. That's the main thing, and I'm sure this man's pretty happy about it. Max Burgess, who was one of those walking wounded. I thought at one stage, Max, you might have to have your leg amputated. It was a pretty hefty knock, but you fought through it. I could see the look on your face for the next 5 minutes, but you got through it, mate. How did your team get through that as a whole?
Yeah, super gritty effort from everyone, all the boys that came on as well. Something we pride on ourselves on, that that togetherness, and I think that showed today. Huge class from Dio there, and the boys dug in.
And Max, what happened with that challenge? I think it was Scott Neville who came. Did you go over on your ankle, or did he just catch you on your ankle?
No, he just got me on the bone. I got skinny legs, so he just got me right on the bone, and just copped a nerve, so couldn't feel it for about 5 minutes.
Okay, so I was just concerned that maybe you'd rolled your ankle, so that means you should be okay for Wednesday then.
No, all good. Just skinny legs.
Yeah.
I can empathise. Hey, the Diamante, the name that you mentioned right there, that free kick. I mean, seriously, that only a few people can do that, and he's one of them, of course. But overall, as a whole, having him in a situation like you're in at the moment, away from home, in a hotel, in each other's back pockets, what's it like?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just said it. He's the skipper, leads by example, and yeah, it's just a moment of class. Gave everyone a lift when we needed it. But we've got a few of those individuals in the team. You know, Jura, so experienced, and obviously Bess. So yeah, no, we all take a lift out of those boys, definitely.
And Maxie, how did you actually see the game from your perspective? I thought you guys started off a little bit slow, but slowly but surely got into it and really come into your own after you scored the goal for the rest of the first half, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It was really intense there, not much space in the pockets. So after the first 10 minutes, I felt like we sort of worked it out a little bit and created a few overloads and started to get into our groove a little bit. But those games are really tight, and they're a top side. They've been really hard to beat all year, so we knew that. Sort of similar system to us, so just matched up all over the field. So yeah, I think once we got the goal, it sort of gave us a lift, and we just dug in towards the end. But yeah, no, I think that's sort of what happened.
Didn't get to see the shimmy tonight from you after a goal, but got to see you smile after a win, and well done. And we'll see you in a couple of days' time against Melbourne City. Rest up. I think you might need the rest.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Congratulations, Max.
Thank you. Cheers.
Real vibrant player in the A-League is Max Burgess, and good to have him around. Jay O'Shea is going to join us now from a Brisbane Raw perspective, and it is Raw right now for Brisbane, given how close that game was. And Max was right. This is the third meeting between the two clubs, and there's a split hair between them in each and every game. But Jay, thank you for your time, mate. I don't know how we commiserate with you, but what's your overriding emotion right now about just that and the season as a whole as it ends up?
I think as a whole we're happy enough to get to the finals, but I think on the night not good enough. They scored with a bit of quality. I think they defended well after the goal, and I think we had a few chances, but we just didn't take them on the night, and that's where you need to be clinical, especially in finals football, because you don't get another chance at it.
And Jay, did you have that feeling that it just, any time throughout the game that it just wasn't going to be your night? Because for long periods you were the better team in between the boxes. Yeah,
no, I didn't really feel like that until maybe Brad, when he hit the post. I thought maybe that's not going to be our night, but I think, as you say, we were in the ascendancy. We were causing them more problems than they were us, and yeah, we were just unlucky not to get the goal, and it was just a bit of quality from Diamante that was the difference on the night.
Yeah, in that final third, is there anything that you can pinpoint with great accuracy about what was off tonight, or is it just these, as Bozza keeps on mentioning to us in the studio, it's these fine margins in certain moments in big games?
Centimetres.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Bozza. Centimetres. We hit the post. If that one goes in, I think we probably go on. We're in the ascendancy there. I think that would be a big blow for them if that one goes in, and we probably go on and win the game.
A lot of, I don't know, there was a bit of push and shove. You know a lot's on the line, but there was a lot on the line you could notice watching the contest and every challenge, and it was a hard job for Chris Beath tonight to referee as well. How did you feel how the game panned out in that regard?
Yeah, I think, well, when they were winning, I think they handled it well. Obviously, they were probably trying to waste time a little bit, and it was a bit, to be fair, it was probably a bit of handbags, to be honest. But I'd say that they seen the game out well, running down the clock, and I think anyone else would do the same in that position.
Well, Jay, I just want to say on behalf of everyone here, I mean, you were fantastic tonight. Your team's been fantastic this season, and I know it won't feel that way right this moment in time, but I think when you look back, considering what happened last season, you'll be very proud of your efforts.
Cheers. Thanks, Bozza.
Well done, Jay
Thank you. Cheers.
Great addition to the A-League this season, and yeah, best of luck to Brisbane Raw, and hopefully they can somehow get that rule changed when they go back home. They can isolate in their homes as opposed to hotels, but that's ahead of them right now. And you can see they're together still in that dressing room. Warren Moon has led them really well since Robbie Fowler, and Robbie Fowler did a great job along with Tony Grant when he was out here as well with this club. But they certainly turn things around from what they were last season. See what happens next season with Brisbane Roar as they look to push ahead to the future. We're going to push ahead to the break, because on the other side of the break we'll touch again on the big moments from tonight and also hear from some of the big players, including Bessart Berisha. That's on the way as our post-game show continues here from Bankwest Stadium. We're looking forward to the semi-finals now. It's going to be Sydney FC, Perth Glory, plus a Melbourne derby, Western United and Melbourne City on Wednesday night. We're back in a moment with more analysis. That's what everyone needs on a Sunday evening to see out the weekend. Alessandro Diamante in his sluggos leading the celebrations for Western United in the sheds as they sing the team's song. We can't get the audio, unfortunately. Well, it's probably a good thing, actually, because you'll hear maybe a bit of language in all kinds of languages, but that's a great scene for Western United, this new club. And Bessart Berisha and Mark Rodan were watching that on. They're joining us right now. Guys, congratulations. We'll start with the man who was out there doing his best to win his side the game. We'll get to Roos in a moment. But Bessart, this is at 3 clubs you've now done this, had great feelings after a finals win. How does this sit with you personally after that victory tonight?
Very, very happy and very proud. Very proud as a player to be in this team. What a story it is. First year with the club. I can just be more thankful and more proud to the group and to the staff what we created this year. What a story. We are semi-final, first year in the league. It's like, we keep dreaming, and the dream we follow, and let's see where the story ends, but I hope very far.
Congratulations, Bersat, and congratulations, Mark. And Mark, I'd like to ask you, after the goal, we know how much research you put into the little bits. They say the devil's in the detail, but when Alino Diamanti scored that goal, he was running over to you, and you were saying to him, weren't you, I told you, didn't I? I told you. What did you tell him?
Well, for starters, that's a good little pickup from yourself, Bozza, because I didn't see you anywhere near me, but you heard it. Look, we spoke about a few things today. We spoke about, if we do get fouls, we understand the goalkeeper's position. But, Bozza, one thing you can talk about tactics, you can talk about positional play and the players, but our game's all about feeling as well. And in our sixth sense, and I just said to Diaz before the game that if we get a free kick, and I haven't felt this all season, I believe you're going to put one in the back of the net. And he looked at me quite surprised, and I guess that's why he did what he did. And but I just, as you know, Bozza, when you're in the game for such a long time, sometimes you get feelings before the game, and I certainly felt a pretty strong feeling. There you go.
Well, Rude, you were saying it that loud to him. I think they heard it at Denzer Park about 30 k's away. That's why we heard what you were saying. You were yelling
I saw it.
No, we all heard it as well.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say, and Ruud, on the top of what you just said about feeling as well, talk about feeling from that team. What character that team showed. I mean, towards the end, people were going over with whatever it was, ankles, and we spoke to Max Burgess, said he got one on the nerve. But the character your team showed, you must be so proud of them.
Yeah, it's huge. To see where we started 12 months ago, and and where we are right now, and I guess one thing we talk about are our values and the togetherness and the growth and the effort. And that was all there today. And it's one thing talking about them, it's one thing writing them up on a whiteboard, but these players go out there and represent the football club in such a manner that all our fans, and we're trying to grow this club as well, should be extremely proud of. I certainly am. I said it before the game that our collective spirit is unlike anything I've seen, and I think you can see that as well through our behaviours and our habits, and particularly the way we play the game. So, I'm always really proud of them, but when I see that and them fighting for each other and sticking up for each other, they deserve everything they get.
Bessard, just one on, it's a statistic, but it goes to show you what this group is all about, and you can maybe explain a bit more, but you've now led it 11 times at halftime in games, and you've won 11 games. Can you give me a reason why that is?
It's honestly really simple. The group has a spirit. Togetherness. Whatever we do is together. I didn't feel this for a long time. We have a very, very special group, and we fight through every minute. And it's all about this, and it's not about who makes the mistakes. Who is, but in our club is who will fix the mistakes. And that's how we go every game. And you can see this in every game, that we fight for each other and we are there for each other. And this is how I feel. That's what everybody feel, and it's so enjoyable.
Yeah, a couple of boys. I don't know if you saw that, Roos, but a couple of boys, including Ryan Scott.
I saw it. Look, it's important in sport that you enjoy the good moments,
Yeah.
and
Very important.
They've put so much effort, and they've not just us, but every other team that's had to come to this hub has made a huge amount of sacrifice. And I want to say thanks to everybody involved. First of all, not just our club, but everybody else, including Brisbane Roar as well. But it's moments like this they need to relax and really enjoy themselves, and I think that's also important. You've got to balance the training and the discipline and the focus and concentration, and like Bess was a couple of nights ago, hanging out on the balcony singing all these kind of songs with the spotlights and the torches. I mean, I didn't know about it, and luckily I didn't at the time. But no, it's important that they have fun, like I said, and one of the guys in the forefront of that. The dancing moves was actually an assistant coach of mine, so there's no separation between coaches and players. We're together in this, and it's good to see that when they're enjoying themselves, so are we.
Yeah.
Well done tonight, gentlemen. Bessart and Roos. We'll see you here on Wednesday night, and look forward in the next couple of hours to Diamante's social media. Cheers, guys.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
boys.
guys. Appreciate
Well
it.
done.
Yeah, you can't argue with anything that they said right now. And even it's Melbourne City, even though that Melbourne City have got the better of them all games this season so far, in tight games, it must be said. And Jamie McLaren must be looking forward to Wednesday night because he scored six times against Western United this season. You simply cannot go in with any confidence whatsoever that they are not in every contest that they play at the moment up to their necks.
Well, there's one thing for certain, and we saw that here tonight, and we've seen it all season. They're going to fight.
Yeah.
They will fight. They will fight to that last second. There's no doubt about that. And look, nobody will expect them to beat Melbourne City as well. So that puts a different type of pressure on Melbourne City, one that we've seen them not handle particularly well in the past. So they've got their own ghost to vanish, if you like. But in terms of Western United, they can go there. They've had a successful season in terms of their first season. They've got into the real business end. They've won their first finals game. Sometimes people with nothing to lose, it can be very, very dangerous. But Melbourne City will definitely start favourites.
So Diamante, his night tonight, and how with a bit of a look forward to him. We've spoken about what he was doing at half-time as well, but with a little bit of a look forward to how maybe Eric Monbert and his coaching staff in the Hunter Valley are looking at, from a Melbourne City perspective, about what to do about this bloke on Wednesday.
Well, the bottom line is when you're playing against a player of such talent is, in my opinion, from my experience, is you can't concentrate on him too much. You just stay in your zone. There's always the temptation to put a man marker on him, but I've had that before. I played in teams. We played against Eric Monbert, will know this name now, Eric Cantona, and we did that, and he took the player everywhere, completely everywhere, and ended up scoring 2 goals anyway. They'll know that when he gets into particular zones on the park, that will go into a player, and that responsibility will be to that player or somebody else. They might double mark him in certain things to make sure they shut him down. Now, the areas you want him to get the ball are areas where he can't really do you harm. The bottom line is, but with a player of such quality, there are going to be times basically where he is going to be in a position to hurt you. And those are the times really that you've got to have everybody basically, all hands on deck, so to speak. And those times specifically, and I said this at the start of the game as well, and these type of games, set plays are so important.
Yeah.
You've got to limit the fouls you give away all around the box because these set plays are so good as well. Look, it's undoubted that on Wednesday nights, Melbourne City will dominate like they've tried to dominate all games and play that lovely free-flowing football. And Western United will sit back and try to hit them on the break. You just got to make sure when he takes up those positions that he does, those weird positions, that, like I said, when he goes into somebody's zone, the communication's got to be there for them to make sure that people are aware who's in that zone and what they have to do.
More of the wrap coming here from Bankwest Stadium after Western United's 1-0 win, and there they are all together. Western United still singing in the dressing rooms here at Bankwest after a 1-0 success over Brisbane Roar. Look at that, they're the moments you play football for, to enjoy moments just like that. And they continue right now for Western United, and tomorrow the preparation, I'd say, will begin for Melbourne City. Off to a break. It sets up a wonderful Wednesday on Fox Sports. We've got these two semi-finals coming your way from Bankwest Stadium. I think the timing is going to work out pretty well because at full time in the second game, I reckon these two boys will be jumping into the ring in Townsville for one epic event in Australian boxing. Horn v Sue.
Boxers will tell you that the ring is the loneliest place on earth. It's just you and the other guy you're trying to make ugly. It doesn't matter who your father is or whether you were bullied at school. Because in the ring, the only thing that matters is now. And it's never too late to be what you might have been. Jeff Horn's journey has taken him from the middle-class suburbs of Brisbane as a school teacher, son of a builder and charity worker, to a stadium event the likes not seen in this country for decades.
He's in big trouble right now, man. Show me something in this round. Yep. I'm going to stop the fight. Yep. That's it.
Where, as a young, unbeaten, unbackable underdog, he dethroned one of the greatest fighters in the history of boxing. He has fought for every sliver of his success and has made a case that he is the best boxer in Australia. His next opportunity comes against this man, Tim Tszyu. He is the progeny of not only one of Australia's greatest ever, but of the world's. His father is Costa Tszyu. a member of the Boxing Hall of Fame, who after winning a gold medal for Russia at the Amateur World Championships in Australia in 1991, stayed behind. He would dominate the junior welterweight division for almost a decade.
They've got to stop this fight, yes. Thank goodness.
And while he trained under the great measuring an opponent, and the same calm, steely look of confidence that's bred from repetition and supreme condition.
Jacket is against these ropes, and now Zoo will go to work, and there's the towel.
On Wednesday, however, Tim Zoo attempts to walk from the shadow of his father's greatness and into his own light. It won't be easy, and those who know Horn know just how hard he'll make it. Ask Manny Pacquiao and ask Michael Zarafa, who after stopping Jeff Horn in 9 rounds in August last year, was beaten just 3 months later in one of the bloodiest and brilliant nights Australian boxing has ever seen. From the modest suburbs of Brisbane to the bustle of Sydney, 2 fighters linked solely by self-belief present a dramatic study in contrasts. Teacher, student, dominance, desire. This is Horn versus Zoo, right here on Foxtel's Main Event.
Very strange. You got it now. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. Here's the big moment from the game we've just witnessed to put Western United through to the semi-final against Melbourne City. Alessandro Diamante doing the business from a free kick in the first half. Western United seeing out the game. They're the scenes from moments ago in a jubilant Western United dressing room. Welcome back to Bankwest Stadium. Robbie Slater's joined myself and Mark Bosnich on the panel, and Robbie, those scenes were fantastic. We heard from Roods, we heard from also Bessart Berisha. The togetherness is quite something, and you've noticed it about a number of football teams that you've played in and commentated on, and this team has it in spades, would you say?
Yeah, they certainly have, and they've shown it since they've been back from the break, and congratulations to them and everyone involved in the club. It certainly is an achievement, but you know, they've got to enjoy the moment, but also they've got a lot of work to do to recover and get ready for another big game. You can't stop here. This is, you know, they've got to try and go all the way now. That's what it's all about.
Bozza, just on the fact that they played a lot of games in a short amount of time. They've had like game every 3 days, 4 days for the best part of 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing going into a game against Melbourne City, or is it going to tell?
Well, look, for me, it's a good thing. There's no doubt about that. The only thing I will say with this instance is there's 2 things. Number one, they pretty much played a second lineup, you have to say, against Melbourne City on Wednesday. So the boys who played today pretty much had that week's break, except for Josh Risdon and Connor Payne, who played 60 minutes, and maybe that's had something to do with why Josh Risdon went down injured. The other thing as well, the second thing, coming back to, a lot of players were going down. Now, we heard from Max Burgess, his seems to be not a serious injury. He said he got a knock on the bone stroke nerve. So that's just a knock. That should be okay. A little bit concerned, very concerned about Josh Risdon. A little bit concerned about Andrew Durante as well. And there was a few others as well. There was Aaron Calver right here towards the end when he went in a challenge with Amadi Holloway. So we don't know whether or not he's gone over on his ankle or something like that as well. So, but when you've got momentum, Adam, and the games are coming thick and fast, and you're winning, you know, those little pains, they're not little pains, you know, they're okay, you know. And I'm sure if Mark Rudin goes through the dressing room and says, you ready for Wednesday? There won't be one person that won't turn around and go, no, I'm okay. When you're losing, people are like, yeah, my hamstring's a bit sore, actually. I think I might see this one out. Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's get a Brisbane perspective. Here's Warren Moon speaking to the press a short time ago.
Yeah, well, look, we're disappointed we lost. You know, I thought it was a typical finals game. There was a bit of intensity there, and but I thought we were the better team. It's hard for me not to say that. We had more chances. We controlled the territory, possession, but ultimately undone by a moment of brilliance by a very good player.
If Western have quite a few big-name players, do you think a little bit of inexperience counted against you guys in terms of finals football?
I wouldn't say that. I would say he's a good player and he produced a moment of magic on a free kick. I wouldn't say there was inexperience. We played well. We had chances, and on another night we take those and we're through to the next round.
Okay, Joe Martin, next questions, please.
Hey, Warren. Just hoping to get your insight. What did you say to the guys in the sheds just now? I imagine they're pretty downcast.
Yeah, I just said how proud I was of their performance, their effort, and not just tonight, but in the time we've been away. The sacrifice, obviously, that they've all made to be away from family and friends in this time has been nothing short of magnificent from this group, and the togetherness we now have because of that is there for them all to see tonight. But they're just a really devastated group right now, and but again, I just said how proud I was of their efforts.
So Warren Moon, in the new age way of doing press conferences via Zoom, right there, pretty classy responses as well.
Spoke really well, and he should be super proud of his team. And for good portions of tonight, they were the better team in between the boxes. But as we always say, games are decided in both boxes. Where it really mattered, West United were better.
Robbie, Scott McDonald's influence on the match, was that the defining part for Brisbane Roar, that he wasn't able to quite connect with those around him tonight, or it wasn't his fault?
Look, I thought he had a decent game, to be honest, and I thought he did what he had. He set up a number of chances, one super chance for Jay O'Shea, which he should have done a lot better with. So, yeah, look, there were times when it was tough for him, but I thought his contribution, all in all, was fairly good.
I thought he was excellent tonight. I mean, he had a real battle on his hand with Andrew Durante, there's no doubt about that. But his link play, his delicate passing, the way he held the ball up, I thought he'd done an excellent job for Brisbane tonight.
What are Brisbane missing? What do they need to maybe add for next season?
Goals. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. In the needs to post. JSA with a great chance, and it's about what happens in that penalty box. You've got to have that cutting edge, and you've got to be able to finish.
It was a magnificent battle between he and Andrew Durante, two of the veterans of the A-League. We've loved seeing the young players come through in the past 6 or 7 weeks, but the class of the older players has been fantastic as well. We're looking forward to Wednesday night. It's a grand final replay from last season, Perth Glory and Sydney FC, the second match after the Melbourne Derby between Western United and Melbourne City.